How do I pronounce your surname?
Just do whatever feels good to you.
Perttu Ojansuu? Ojansuu?
Ojansuu.
Ojansuu. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. Ojansuu. Hi everybody, Fintan here from Damson Cloud. This week I'm in London. We're having a bit of a travel time the last couple of weeks. This week I'm in London and I'm chatting to Perttu Ojansuu, who's founder of Happeo, which is a digital workspace solution. So thanks for taking the time to come and chat to us.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So just a little bit on your background before we kind of kick into things. Obviously, you're founder of Happeo, the digital workspace, but previously to that, you were founder of Gaps, which is a Google partner who we know well as well. And you also have a BA in economics and science and economics and a master's in entrepreneurship, which I was surprised to find out. So that was interesting. And you did that kind of maybe about 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
And so what I always start these things with is a little bit of an icebreaker. So I was doing the one with Ian and the guys as well. So the icebreaker one is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? This question comes from my son. He always asks this.
Actually, I always ask the same questions in the job interviews as well. It's interesting to hear the answers. And right now, actually, I'm never sick, but I happen to be now sick. So if I would have the power to heal people, like
and
just
yourself,
like touching, myself,
and yourself
so
as well,
that would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be a very sort of selfless one as well, that you could use both for yourself and for other people.
Exactly, like healing people, like
because invulnerability is just for yourself.
Well, we both are like in the making people's life happier and more productive. Think about that. If everyone would be all the time healthy.
I know, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. I think it's
it's a cool question. I love it to ask it as well. And then you can actually get the real person out there, because when you hear the answers, so that's cool. Yeah, it's good. I love it.
It's a good one. I'm going to do a compilation, I think, of all the fun answers that we've gotten so far. Okay, so a little bit about yourself. I kind of wanted to dig into a little bit about you before we sort of got into the company stuff.
Sure.
So I know that you're from Finland, but I have, outside of that, I have no real knowledge of Finland. And my first time there was actually at the Happeo conference, other than the similarity of my own name. And I was delighted to actually kind of get to go, which was great. We were in Helsinki obviously last year for the Happeo conference. But whereabouts are you from in Finland? Are you from one of the major towns, or are you a country kid, or what's the sort of background?
It's a boring story. I'm actually born in capital, so Helsinki.
Capital kid.
But I'm mostly spent my childhood in the second biggest city called Tampere.
Oh, okay.
It's actually called the Manchester of Finland.
Right. Okay.
It's a kind of like they used to have old paper mills and fabric factories there, so there is like that kind of heritage. But now the past few years I have lived already abroad. So.
And you're living in Helsinki at the moment?
No, in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, okay, cool. I thought that, but I wasn't 100% sure.
No worries.
And
if you ask my girlfriend, she says that I live in the airplane. So
I feel like that this week for sure. Sometimes in our type of jobs, and probably more so even with yourself, you do kind of find like I'm too familiar with the airport, But that kind of goes with the territory sometimes. And did you have kind of a typical Finnish upbringing? Do you have a big family or a small family? Any siblings?
We were 6 people altogether, and I'm the eldest. I have always said that I was the black sheep in a way, that I always tried the barriers, and then the others learned from my mistakes.
Yeah, but, they could follow behind. That's good. That's what you want. I was the other way around. I was the youngest, and I was the black sheep. So I was kind of the one where my parents were like, "Oh, Donald didn't do this," and I'm wrecking things as I go. So.
But I have always been an adventurer. So that's the thing that I think everyone in our family is, and I think it's cool that the childhood what we have in so many memories and with such a big group of people. So that was definitely
it's nice to have a close family relationship. I have a
Yeah.
close relationship with my own family and my parents as well. I don't think I'd really go a week without talking to them if I can fit it in amongst things. And I'm lucky I live in the same country as them. And in terms of your kind of family background, like it's interesting. You as Donald used to say to me, you've never had a real job. You know, I've always worked for myself, so I've never sort of worked that kind of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And you're the same. You don't seem to have worked that. You know, you've gone straight into not much. I mean, we always do maybe a little bit as when you're younger. I had a few sort of, you know, odd jobs in college and things like that. But realistically, a sort of long term working sort of 5 years, or 10 years for a company, neither of us seem to have that. Do you think there was anything in your family background that kind of pushed you that direction, or were you you were the only one kind of doing that, or?
Currently, I'm the only entrepreneur, but I know that my brother has as well that kind of feeling that maybe someday he would like to do but I think like both of my parents are just workaholics. They just happen to work in public industry. So
they worked in public sector.
So that's that, and but I think all of us have learned the hardworking culture,
mentality, and
mentality,
culture, which is important as well.
I think it's only that, and then I have just chosen it to do it this way. So
but it is still maybe less unusual now, but certainly when I was growing up, it was something my parents both teachers and they kind of came from that background, and my mum's side of the family were big into business. My grandfather started his own company, so there was a business background that kind of was pushing me towards that. But I remember my parents being nervous about the idea of us starting our own business and kind of going down that road because they were used to the sort of more traditional jobs and the security. Now I personally think nowadays that doesn't exist in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Sort of a job for life. It's kind of gone. Do you know what I mean? But like 20 years ago, when they were sort of having these thoughts and conversations, it did still exist, So
I think in a way that what they have said to me always has been that you do your thing, whatever it is, and you'll be successful. And they haven't said that okay, it's risky or not, or maybe you should. No, they have always said that like whatever you do, that's what we're supporting, and
that's great. That's like ideally that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? I don't want my son to feel like a 10-year-old, that he has to do a similar job to me, or he'll probably do something completely different, and that's great. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's terrible when you see people forced into family businesses that they don't really want to work in. And, it's not really what they love, and it's really obvious that they don't want to do it. But that's what mummy wants or daddy wants, or so. It's never good really. Just want to make sure that's on mute. It's never good really. I don't think it lends itself to people being happy in life. Do you know what I mean? If they're not sort of doing what they genuinely want to do. Can you ever see yourself working a 9 to 5? Like, do you see a future where, like, if the company was sold or bought in 5 or 10 years or whatever, could you imagine yourself in a bigger kind of corporate environment?
Yeah, of course. I work more than 9 to 5, so
sure. That would be easier. It's like, this is easy.
So I don't mind that. It's like depends of the company culture. And,
sure.
What's the what's the challenge?
What's the challenge?
Because every one of us want to pursue always to the next level and next level.
Sure,
so that's you never know what life brings. So
and I think that ruling something out doesn't make sense. I like working for myself, and I think I probably always will. But I could see myself. I think I would like the challenge of maybe a larger company. I've worked with large companies, but that's kind of different. You're a consultant. You're external. You're kind of part of the team for a little while, but you're never sort of fully integrated, and you get to kind of see a little bit of the internal politics, but you're enough outside it that you're not as affected by it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it might be interesting to be right in there with the internal politics. So your founders, the other founders that you have in the businesses in Gaps and in Happeo, where did you guys meet? Was it in college or school or you know.
In university or in the university circles. So that's that. And actually, what was interesting that what led to the
I was going to ask
founding story of Happeo. So I was part of that kind of like entrepreneurial group of people, and we brought people from Silicon Valley to Finland to teach us how to build these kind of like scalable product companies. So
cool.
The idea of Happeo kind of like or something like that was always there.
Right. Okay.
And so it's kind of like part of that, and then that's where we found each other.
And I think it's interesting because that was sort of my next piece that the Happeo product originally, Universe, as some of you may know it as, was born out of gaps and out of a sort of a need within a particular customer, I assume, or customers for a solution like this. So there were particular challenges that you guys came across. You looked at the market at the time. There was nothing there. You kind of had Google Sites as a very basic kind of internet thing, but certainly nothing like the product that you guys have created. It is interesting because a lot of, and we were having this conversation before, a lot of the Google partners in the ecosystem, particularly the ISVs who have been successful, have been born out of Google partners, where a real need from a customer sort of has come about, and they've built a solution around that. And I think it's really because, you know, rather than sort of creating a tool and trying to find a need for it, it's the other way around. It's like a need, you know, was sought, and then
it's so clear in front of your face. So
So can you tell us a little bit about how you feel that led to the success of the business, or how much that was sort of part of it, and if you're able to share that initial couple of customers that sort of, I suppose, were the trailblazers for you guys?
Well, the journey of Happeo started kind of like from the migration of like the Finnish largest companies to Google.
Right, okay.
And then when realizing what, as you said, that what kind of challenges they are facing, so that actually something like this could be potential. And then when discussing with these organizations, then they said that there is definitely a need, and then we did the first demo product, and that's how to do it. But the idea was all the time to kind of like, we actually had a few other ideas already before. Other products, but we didn't feel as kind of like related like that. That would be our passion.
Sure, yeah.
It was about like
you have to
time tracking or something like goes to the really like
time management, project management.
So that was one idea that we had at some point, but this was definitely that we saw that this is what we definitely want to change in the world, how people communicate internally,
and I think you have to be passionate about it, don't you?
Totally,
like it has to be, has to be something that you're really behind. Otherwise, you know, you're going to run out of steam eventually. Do you know what I mean? As you said, the long hours and things like that, you're going to be like, this isn't worth it. Do you know what I mean? So it has to be something you're passionate about. That's great. And how long did it sort of take to get from that point where you were developing a solution for customer and they were using some, you know, skeleton version of what is now Happeo, assumably, to a point where you were like, this is a product that we're demoing? Like I remember the first time you guys demoed it in wasn't San Francisco, it was in
or Vegas.
In Vegas, the first year they had the first and only time they had the Google Next conference in Vegas. And I can remember you guys rented this cool space, and I remember going down, and it was actually Ian Nairn that got me. It was all those years ago, to get me to take a look, and I was like, what's this universe thing? I don't know about this. Okay, sure, we've got nothing on at the moment. And we went down and we saw you guys kind of demo it, and you had the Rovio guys there.
Yes.
So they were obviously one of the initial first couple of customers that you guys got on board.
Yeah, so Rovio was famous of the Angry Birds game, so they were one of our first customers, and they were part of the launching